ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. This is Jenga Njeru. Now, today we have the Matchmaker show, and you understand the protocol here that any other time we have a man on board, that man must be looking for a woman. In the same way, when we have a woman on board, the woman must be definitely looking for a man. But because today we have a man, I will tell you the kind of woman he is looking for. And we will start with apologies because this video was supposed to premiere 3 days ago. But because of the push and fall that has been happening online, because of the many people who wanted to bring down the kind of work we are doing, then we decided to start what we call a comprehensive background check. If you're not appearing on the show in person, that means we have to get 2 or 3 few family members who can testify to the fact that you are single and searching, that you are not somebody's husband, you're not somebody's wife. And that is a rule we have introduced on the show. If you're not coming on the show in person, we have to validate, because if you come to the show, if you come to the office, if we meet and we have to bring you on the show and we have to bring your face on the show, that means it has to take a lot of guts for you to say you're single. And again, we can also call some people that you trust while you're still seated or standing. We can just call and know whether you're single. We will validate that. So I have decided, after Tony's incident, after James's incident, after the incident of Minor and Mercy, I decided now it is time to do a background check. So I have checked with the guy that I'm bringing on today's show. I have checked with his family members, and the truth of the matter is that he is single. Sam is single and searching. Why is a 51-year-old man single? This is a question that features prominently on our show. Amongst the questions that we ask on the show is the reason unto why one is single. Because the reason why one is single plays a leading role in determining whether the suitors will be comfortable or not when engaging him or her. Okay, so one of the reasons why people feel the interest to engage a single person is the reason to their singlehood. And for this reason, I have decided that I will be checking and I will be able to validate, is it that the person is a widow, a widower? Is it a person who is separated, legally divorced, officially divorced, things like that? Is it a person who has never been married before, and things like that? At least, whether you are far or near, there are people who know your history. There are people who can give you a story like a book. There are people who know me inside out. And so if I have nothing to hide, then I can always present somebody who can give an account of my life. You get the point? So for the 3 days I have been waiting and to premiere this video is because now Sam understands that we were doing a background check of him. Asikue ako Gulf anafanya kazi, ameacha familia Kenya, and then he is looking for a wife. And this is one of the reasons why I love honest people. Okay, so Sam is single, he's 51 years, and he is searching for a wife. He is looking for a wife because he left for Gulf 16 years ago. He's working in Dubai as a cook in a hotel. He is in the hotel industry. He is not the owner, okay? He is just a cook. He said so. It is important for people to clarify about what they do for a living, because again, apart from mtu kusema roho ikue mzuri, people also check. There are standards that people check. Is this my type? Let us not lie to each other. You also check, is this my type? Is this not my type? So if you could be interested, this is Sam, Otieno Sam. Otieno Sam has been in Dubai for the last 16 years. About 18 years ago, he captured his ex-wife. Wife wake alimkuta wife yake na brother yake. It is a very sad story. Found the wife and the brother, wife and the younger brother. Unaona venye unaletanga brother yako amemaliza form 4, unamleta Nairobi ama town yenye unaishi, unasema wacha watu wetu watoke ushago. The young brother started to service the wife, and you cannot blame in such a case. Sometimes when the brother is very young, mtu ya kumaliza high school, mtu ya 19 years, and a woman who is past 30, if they enter into an affair, you will always blame the woman because, or the older person, because according even to the Bible, to him more is given, more is expected. Okay, the higher you go, the higher you rise, the higher you fall. So blamed the wife for everything, also blamed the brother, and he has not been able to forgive the brother completely. Unaona ile ya kusahau, hautasahau lakini ulisamehe. He told me they are still talking, they still had a family meeting, discarded the wife. Wewe sikuambiwa, aliambiwa. Every time he gives that story, he shed tears. This is a woman, they had 2 children together. Umeendea brother yako amemaliza form 4, umemtoa ushago, umemleta Nairobi, walikuwa wanaishi Dandora. Unakuja unamleta. Unafanya hizi kazi za mechanic, hizi kazi ngumu. So wewe mnakuja jioni 6. Yeye anafanya kazi ngumu, anakuja jioni 6, around 6 7 hapo kukiwa na giza, sometimes 8 ikienda sana 9. Sasa schedule yako ni predictable. Ukitoka asubuhi utarudi jioni. So the schedule is very predictable. That day alikuwa na vitu za clients. Zinaitwa nini? Hizi spare parts. Ako na hizi car parts amebeba za client, watatengeneza gari kesho. Forgot them, went back home, found them in the act around saa 5 hivi. It was the most pathetic, most horrible thing he has ever watched in his entire life. Made up his mind, stayed for 2 years in depression. After kuachana na wife, akaenda Dubai. And he has always been asking himself, is it possible to find a good, faithful wife? I said yes, because again, we have faithful people. Pia tuna watu ambao wamepitia the same thing. It hurts so much when you can be faced with such a reality. If such a thing happens to you, it could be the most painful thing that ever happened to you. Sawa sawa. So he is an introvert, haongeangi sana. Hata yeye mkiongea unajaribu tu kudadisi, unajaribu tu kumuuliza maswali hapa na pale, unajaribu tu kumuuliza maswali. Uta notice hiyo kitu ilimuaffect sana sana sana. That thing affected him so much. He has not been able to trust again, but again, from the show and from the friends of the show, from the people who have successfully been matched on our show, he can see that there is light at the end of the tunnel. Okay? At least there is some light. Another thing, at 51, they had 2 children. He never had an affair with another woman. Why? Because immediately after the incident, he went into depression, clinical depression. Alikuwa mpaka anasaidiwa na wataalamu, wanamsaidia, wanamcancel, wanampea counseling. Wakati aliona amepona, unaona, wakati anaona sasa hiyo kitu sasa ana face reality, ukweli, wife ameenda. 2 years later, flight to Dubai. He has been working, and he's a faithful man. He said he has only worked in 2 hotels, and the hotel he is working in currently was a recommendation from the former hotel. So whatever he has been doing inaishi huko, na anasema yeye arudi hapa. What he's doing is that I don't know, but sometimes when you have stayed in a place for a very 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 long time and you only come here visiting, then maybe there is a way you can be able to establish yourself there. There is a way you can be able to feel like your life can only be successful there, and that is the case of Sam. Sam is saying that yeye akipata mtu heri, hata kama huyo mtu, and he prefers a woman who is not a career woman, because if you're a career woman, that means you have to leave your practice in Kenya or wherever you are. You have to leave your practice and join him. So he is saying yeye anajitolea. He can help that woman to get a job. However, he is not settling in Kenya. He can only settle in Kenya after retirement. I don't know his definition of retirement. Maybe he will tell us, but he is 51 years old. 2 children, wanaongeanga, akikuja, wanapatana. Wife yake aliolewa kirasmi. The wife moved on after the 2 years, 3 years, got married. Bwana yake ex bwana ameenda, na sasa wife amebaki peke yake. Got married to somebody else, got the wheels of life moving. So the guy was left alone. And Sam is, na amesisitiza, he is an introvert. Ni wao watu ambao hawaongei sana. Mkingoja watu waongee sana, yeye hataongea sana. And he's looking for a woman who is 40 plus. So if you're not maybe 40, if you're not yet 40, you're not the person he is looking for. If you're not yet 40, he is not looking for you. Another thing, he is also looking for somebody who has at most 2 kids, not at least 1, at most 2. At least 1, because he would also want to feel like he raised somebody who is not his own. Na huyu mtu akuwe tayari anaweza pata mtoto mmoja. If you can get one kid, and by the way, for those of you who will get Sam anasema yeye anaweza taka sana sana, before you move into that relationship, he would like to talk to somebody who respects you in the family. Kwa mfano, hakuna mtu hana mtu ambaye hamuheshimu. You have a sister, you have a brother, you even have a parent, you have a cousin, you have an aunt, an uncle, whoever the person could be. A person you respect, a person you'd like to introduce, a person who can ask questions that you as a person, a referee. Anataka mtu kama huyo. So if you could be interested, kindly get in touch. I told you that the contacts of our guests are always on my Facebook stories at Jenga Njeru. So if you have not followed me on Facebook, you can check Jenga Njeru. It's a page on Facebook. Follow me. To get the contact, you click on my profile picture. You see that blue profile picture? You click on it and then it prompts you a question. View story, iko na options kadhaa. View story, unasema yes. Una click hapo, unaona contact hapo. You can either screenshot the contact or even write it down. Copy it somewhere. You can call the guest at your own convenient time. But that's the rule that I've introduced to the show. That if you want to be featured on the show and if you're actually single, then hawezi kosa mtu moja ama wawili ambao tunajua. Watu moja ama wawili ambaye wanakuheshimu, mtu ambaye anaweza testify that you are single, so that we don't again get a situation kama hiyo ya Maina, so that again tusipate situation kama ile ya Mweni, tusipate situation kama ile ya nani, ya James. So far na Tony, so tumekuwa na Mweni, tumekuwa na Tony, tumekuwa na Damien, Tony, Maina and James. 4 people yao imeleft.